And we're back on, right?
We're live. Yep.
We're back outside because actually the sun is out. It is windy. But let's go meet the rest of the horses. All of the rest of the horses are actually adopted. So we've taken them on and out of situations for most of them that weren't real great.
Hey, Molly, are these horses in the best of health, generally speaking?
They are not, generally speaking, when they come over. Many of them haven't had access to regular oral care, hoof care, things like that. So
proper feed sometimes.
Proper feed. And so we try to do, well, I'll just say we invest very heavily in the vets. Mm-hmm. I think,
especially older horses, yep, which most of them are,
have invested well over $10,000 just in healthcare. And I can tell you about one particular horse when we come up there that's really been a big part of that. This is Rico. Now, I'm not sure how old Rico is, but Rico and his next door mate came together.
Hi, Rico. Kisses.
Hi, baby. Rico came to us from a family that couldn't really afford to take care of him anymore. He and his mate, Vanilla, were hanging out in sand lots without any pasture. It's pretty not great situation for them. And so both of them have been on special feed since then. And he's put on a lot of weight. Now his hips are showing right now post winter. So we'll talk to the vet about that and make sure that we don't need to get him on some supplements. But he's looking
I think he's
good.
A lot older than we expected.
I think he's older than what we thought too.
I think he's probably in his 30s, to be honest.
Yeah. That's
kisses.
Right.
That's right. Give everyone kisses.
Rico kisses. We have a volunteer that comes out on Sunday mornings. A couple, Ron and Andrea, and Ron has really bonded with Rico. When we walk him to pasture, cool. Ron always asks if he can take Rico because
he's a sweet boy.
Rico's been a real sweet boy with him. So, and the mess next to him is Vanilla. I was hoping she would come out. And again, we've had lots of melting snow and grossness, so the stalls aren't as well groomed as we would normally hope. But hi, Vanilla.
Too wet.
You're a mess. Vanilla's losing her winter coat. That's what this is. And she needs a really good brushing. And we were hoping today during the event
we'll get some brushing done.
That we could get some brushing done. But we'll do that later this afternoon. She's clearly been rolling in the mud in the pasture the last few days.
Itchy, probably.
And need to get her cleaned up. Now, Vanilla is without teeth. So pretty much you'll see that carrot, she's going to gum it as well as she can. But we've got her on special food for the elderly.
The older horses get a mash.
They get a mash so that she can actually eat without those
pellets.
Teeth. Yeah.
And some senior feed.
And we could probably go through, 3 bags a month?
Yeah, at least.
For our seniors and try to keep their weight on. She actually has put, if you can believe it, she looks skinny as compared to our other horses, but she's put a lot of weight on since we got her. And
she doesn't feel ribby or anything, so she's doing good.
She's a little girl, too. She's a pretty small horse.
She's a flea-bitten gray, huh? Pretty girl.
So pretty.
Good girl, Vanilla.
She got all showered up for our last party.
Painted like a unicorn,
shower.
Right?
I know. She was a little unicorn. So, Vanilla and Rico, like I said, came into care. We adopted them. They're officially ours.
They're very bonded, those two.
They're very bonded. And they kind of hang out in a pasture by themselves. They haven't really been able to bond yet with the other kind of small herds.
Oh, it's just good, though, so no one picks on them, being older.
Hi. This is Sophie. She's my OG, and she's quietly my favorite. Ricky used to be until he got snotty with me. Yeah, right? So, we're not sure how old she is either, but I think if her numbers were right when I got her, she's about 20 now.
Wow.
She's in really good health. She had a little bit of a scare she's one of our expensive costs this last year. She hurt her leg on these posts fighting with Rico through the fence, which is why they are no longer next door to each other. But she healed up nicely. She was in quarantine for a little over a month. But she's a Tricaner, and actually she came to us from another rescue that pulled her out of a program that couldn't afford her. It was a therapy program that happens a lot. People overbuy horses and then aren't able to take care of them. She was really skinny.
Yes, it is.
Very skinny. Didn't look good at all. Came to us with her legs really beat up because she was banging a lot. She's bangs anyway, but she's pretty healed and she's really connected with her herd, which are these next 4 horses. And she's a good girl.
Yeah.
She's a sweet baby. Very well trained. She's also lame. I should mention that too. None of the horses really are in a position to be ridden. They all have various issues that don't allow them to be labeled as a riding horse. So they're what they label as a companion horse. And we just let them hang and be a horse.
Let them live out their time.
That's right.
Taken care of.
Horse, Ricky and Sophia came to us on the same day, but from 2 different rescues in Colorado. Ricky, you can see how much gray he has. So we've had them both almost now 5 years. And Ricky was part of a Bureau of Land Management roundup, which if you're not familiar with what happens there, look it up and write your government and tell them to knock it off. They round up horses, wild horses that are just living their best lives because they eat the same pasture that the cattle ranchers want to have their cattle eat. So Ricky, when he was very young, was sent to a kill pen, was adopted, but adopted by somebody again that wasn't taking care of his, I heard, almost 100 horses. So the county had to get involved. He was pulled out. He survived. And then was in foster care for about 12 years until we adopted him. He was pretty healthy though. His last foster parents really loved him. They took great care of him, and he is hard-headed. I call him my Mustang mule because he's so hard-headed. If he doesn't want to do something, you'll notice he's the only one with this because we take him off of everybody except for him because he's so hard-headed. If he doesn't want to move, he's not going to move. Isn't that right, sweet boy? We also think he's probably in his mid-20s based on, again, the records that I do have on him. So these are our OGs, and they're pretty bonded too. So Sophie and Rick, they're my babies. Yeah. All right. Next to Ricky's other girlfriend. He's a 2-timer.
He's got one on both sides.
That's right.
Lucky fella.
It's Zuma. And Zuma's a draft horse. She was actually very well cared for, and came to us from another rescue that was, the couple just needed to let their rescue go, and they hadn't found a home for Zuma and the minis that you'll meet. So we took them all 3. We fostered them for a couple of years before we finally adopted them officially this last year. So she's a good girl. These 3 are pretty good friends. So freaking Zuma here. I don't know how old she is either. Now that I think about it, she's
We need to make a
18.
birthday chart of everybody.
I know we really do.
So we always can
Need to
keep
see
track.
what we can find.
Get them all down. She's like, I'm out of here.
I know.
Peace out.
Come here. You'll see a bandage on Max's leg that I've got to get off. But Max has been our expensive and our crazy horse. Max is, as you might be able to tell, a big racehorse. He is
Off the track thoroughbred, right?
He is a pure thoroughbred and earned his family that had him almost $200,000.
Wow.
And when he was diagnosed with kissing spine and not able to race, they got rid of him. So that's what happens again if you're looking things up. Bureau of Land Management horse roundups. Educate yourself about that. I would say educate yourself about the thoroughbred racing industry. It's pretty hard on horses. Max came to us when he was about 8, just a few years ago. It took us a long time to get him integrated into this herd, but he is. Max has been a big investment this year because he got wire wrapped around that back leg early on, and it ended up slicing a pretty big chunk of his knee. And because it's his back knee, he wasn't able to keep it healed. We did finally now, we think it's all done.
He can
And
start
he
going
has
back
been
out to
back
pasture.
in the pasture the last probably week, and he has been happy. And you can tell filthy because he is rolling in all of the mud out there. But he's a
How long
bit of
did
a
you say
pain
he's
in
been
the
in
butt.
the stalls? He's had to
He
be
was
in for a
the
while.
stall for about 8 months,
Yeah.
9 months. It was pretty awful. We were worried about his mental health. The last 2 months, Chris is our caretaker, and he and I have made sure to walk him 20 to 45 minutes a day. And the last time I walked him, we just walked around the whole pasture and just make sure
Get that
he's taking
exercise.
care of that leg. But he's looking shockingly. I can't believe that
He
we're
looks good.
finally here.
He looks good.
So those are 4 buddies that we consider a herd, and we're almost done, y'all.
Do they all
Thank you
go
for
out
your
together
patience.
usually?
Those 4 go out together.
Everyone has their partner or two.
And these are our minis. Now, the minis came to us with Zuma and were bonded with Zuma, but now they're bonded with Rain and Angel.
Yeah.
You know
This
that,
little
right?
stud guy here.
That one sticking his nose through his little foot.
That's Littlefoot.
You
running
talk about
bear.
ornery. It's that kid right there. He's probably 8 or
He's
9
part
now.
Houdini too, I think.
He is part Houdini.
Getting into to
And
run.
then Running Bear, do you have any more carrots? No, are you sure you don't have to? Running Bear is the donkey.
He's a dinner alarm.
He is.
Every day when it's time for dinner, does his
He is.
brain.
When we come in the morning, yeah, we're going to go get you a carrot. And we're going to get you a carrot.
Hey, Max, you come to behind you.
Hi. Hi. I know, we're going to get you some. Yeah, we're going to get you some. We'll get you a treat. They are both kind of entertaining and, like I said, a bit of a pain. So Littlefoot was just diagnosed with laminitis. Ricky, and Littlefoot both have a pretty severe case of it. And what that does is mean literally their hooves laminate, can be not only very, very painful, but cause them to kind of go lame permanently. So they're on meds for that. We're actually doing lots of research right now.
It turns
for
to founder,
supplements
right?
that they
To
can
founder. The
So-
coffin bone turns under in their hoof. Very
Yep.
painful.
So we're going to try to get them on some supplements and some different feed, doing some research now. Again, that's just one of those extra costs for sometimes the horses, equines that you take on. You can see he walks a little stiff.
Little
We
tender.
also, for these 2, have to invest every 4 weeks. The farrier comes to keep their hooves where they need to be.
Minis you treat very differently than full-size horses, right?
Yeah.
On
Yes.
feed and
On
things.
feed.
Can't eat the same stuff.
Cannot. They're one of the things that we learned is we should
you
be
spit it
soaking their hay to get some of the sugars out of their hay.
Or fresh green grass in the spring and summers. They can't be on it.
And you can tell that Running Bear has not missed many meals. He is a chunky monkey. You a chunky monkey? You chunky monkey? Don't get me. Don't get me. No. Yes, you need a good bath too. This is that time of year where everyone needs a bath.
Yeah.
Everybody's shedding. They're
The dirtiest
filthy with the
part of
mud.
the year.
It's so gross. But they're pretty happy.
Hey, Littlefoot. Hey, Littlefoot. Little stud muffin, aren't you? You little stud muffin. Yeah?
Kisses.
Good boy.
All right, do we want to go meet the goats or not?
Let's go. We'll go
You wanna
meet the
see?
goats.
There's a wind. I think they're hiding.
It's a little
inside.
hike. Gotta go up into the other barn. We had some rain or some snow earlier, so.
So just to kind of keep with they get access to pasture almost every day, unless like a day like this. Horses and goats hate the wind. There's the little dust bowl going through.
I'm here. That wind is
This year to date, we've purchased about, let's see, 900 bales. That's about $10,000 all in. even though fall a pretty wet year. And so it was expensive this last year, but
Sorry about that. No service in the barn. We'll go this way. See if we can get them out back. Cody, 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 Cody. We're tied out, locked out. Molly, can you bring them out this way through the barn? I got no signal. You gotta come around. They're not coming out. I don't blame him. It's cold and windy. You can hear that wind blowing. It's chilly. Okay. Might not come out. Weather. Go back in. Might be able to get a little glimpse. Are you out? Oh, you got him.
Everybody's good, Frisco. Frisco's going through a little bit of a stress and health crisis.
Here the goaties.
Hi.
Goaty goaties.
You got Madison, and there's Ned for Netherlands. Hi. That's right. This is my first time with goats, and I can tell you they're just like, they're like dogs.
Yep.
They jump up on you.
Quiet dogs.
They want,
They're very quiet.
they shed. Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Goaty kisses now.
All right, I'm going to get out of this bed, though.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna stop there. We'll see what we come back with in a little bit.